Hey everyone, Percy here. Super Mario 64 changed gaming forever, being one of the first 3D games made and by far one of Nintendo's most successful titles, and it's even the N64's best-selling game, and it's been ported to most every future console, and even had a funky demake on Nintendo DS. The control and movement is by far one of 64's best aspects. Being a launch title for the 64, the developers had to show off how much the analog stick mattered as an innovation to games. You can now go practically anywhere, perform various new moves and combinations of moves stringed together that previous 2D Mario titles only really had basic running and jumping if we're purely talking about control, which is why it's just so fun to just run around, and its replayability is unmatched. I've beaten this game countless times, and it's a big comfort game for me, but what if controlling Mario wasn't as smooth and fluid as I just described it? Can you beat Super Mario 64 with just a Wii remote? Now, first things first, let's look at our controller mapping setup. A and B will be moved to 2 and 1 respectively. This will help a ton with the jump kicks or jump dive combos. The B button trigger on the back will of course go to the Z button for our long jumps, ground pounding, and backflips. The A button will be moved to R, acting as our Mario camera for extra realignment with our setups. The D-pad will be our 4 camera C buttons, and for how notoriously bad the camera is in this game, it is going to be surprisingly helpful to me in this challenge. Next, let's set some rules straight. First off, the main gameplay footage you will be seeing here, I will not be using a nunchuck or Classic Controller Pro, no attachments of any kind, just a pure Wii remote and its motion control, which means, yes, a real analog stick in a test program can result in something looking like this. My Wii remote will look something like this. But that's what this challenge is for. Third is to not use save states. I'm not going to cheat in any way, and I'm going to keep everything pure like it would be on original hardware with an original controller. Finally, no speedrun skips. Skips that outright break the game, like BLJs or MIPS clip. As humorous as it would be to do those, I want to keep things pure, meaning we need 70 stars across the board to open all star doors, and all 3 Bowser stages need to be complete. With that being said, let's do this.
We begin in the castle courtyard, to which the movement is immediately pretty rough to control. But hey, we can build up enough momentum. Performing dives and rollouts can help us maintain our good speed, as long as we have the space. On to Bob-omb Battlefield. Usually the first mission I like to start with is behind the Chain Chomp's gate, as it's right next to the beginning of the stage, making it very easy to access. But pounding the peg is a different story. I can't really long jump or dive towards it, as I need my speed slow enough as to where I can time my ground pound enough. I missed the jump over it, but then I saved myself. With a bit of iframes, I ground pound the peg enough and grabbed us our first star. Next up is Big Bob-omb on the summit. This time I had to walk a lot more on the ground. I must say, I'm glad the first area in the game is as large as it is. It really lets me be flexible with my limited movement, although going at a slower speed may not be the worst thing in the world. A perfect example is King Bob-omb himself. As we fight him, the first and second throws end up being really easy to do, as grabbing him is really easy and he tends to be really slow. The third throw was a bit more challenging, as his horizontal turning was quite quick, but nothing a few dives and jumps can't fix. Next up is Racing Koopa the Quick. I'll be real with you guys, this was one of the closest stars yet. Because of the time limit you get, I was a bit more pressured to trek the mountain again. As a result, I found myself hitting the boulders and falling off the side more and more as the clock was ticking. I assumed I was done for and would have to restart. Color me incredibly surprised when I reached the top with a few seconds to spare, as Koopa rounded the path as I jumped from the side and grabbed the flagpole just in time. Next up, I tackled the 8 red coins and 100 coin stars. I had a few close calls again with these boulders and even the chain chomp, because I was trying to circle around the pegs, and doing all that several times in a row can net you 5 coins. Any coins I collected map are crucial, as I still haven't collected the wing cap yet, and I need 10 stars to do that. Luckily, there's 4 extra pegs in the field by the red coin star. It is a good thing that the Goombas aren't a threat or anything like that. Trying to round these pegs is actually a bit tedious with the Wii remote. Without the wing cap, some of these were definitely harder to reach than others. Thankfully, one of the rings for the coins of Star 5 is just at reach at the edge of this island. After grabbing all these coins and getting every other accessible coin, I got both stars in one go. Next, I went to Peach's secret slide to nab both the normal goal star and its secret star for reaching the goal under 19 seconds or less. The first star was a bit easy, of course, but this one's a bit trickier for this challenge. Usually, when I play this game normally, I can just hold the stick up for maximum speed, of course. But since that's inconsistently hard to reach, as we know, I'm going to utilize the first speedrun skip of our run. In this one, you are intended to hit the first rounded corner you see, then Mario will face backwards. From there, you're going to want to hit the landing from the right side, and then use your momentum to jump as high as you can, ground pound or dive, and then finish effortlessly as the end of the stage approaches. Initially, I went for this trick, but messed it up, so I got the main star normally instead. The second star actually took quite a few attempts, but after a lot of trial and error, I finally got the correct positioning on the Wii Remote and got the star. After this, I headed to Whomp's Fortress, one of my favorite stages in the game for having such fun stars to grab and made all into a very small condensed island of a level. Little did I know that these smaller levels would be very difficult to navigate. For example, I intended to take this shortcut on top of this path to get most stars at a faster rate. It worked, but I really had to take my time going into the narrow areas like this one. Luckily, I somehow got the side flip dive done, reaching me to the floating island. Then I'd long jump and defeat the Whomp King, taking advantage of hurt boxes or lack thereof, and use my hitboxes against him, nabbing our 8th star. This does give us enough stars to go to the first Bowser stage, however, I wanted to finish the rest of Whomp's Fortress and Bob-omb Battlefield, so I went back. Next up, I went for Star 2, top of the fortress. This star was pretty much identical to the Whomp King, as we had to do those side flips towards the very edge of each platform, because I was trying to focus on putting all my jumps in a specific direction. I have to sacrifice my speed due to the limitations of the Wii Remote given to me. This went on to be an issue more often than not, because with more open areas, I can long jump or dive and maintain good speed off of that. This will definitely lead to problems in future stars. After that, I nabbed top of the fortress's star. After this, I went ahead and did Shoot into the Wild Blue. While this is normally one of the easiest stars in the game, wall jumps kinda suck to perform with motion, especially when it came to keeping my momentum up as I quickly switched directions. It took a while, but after I reached the platform, I was all good. Next up was the 8 red coin and 100 coins again. This one was much more manageable than the Bob-omb Battlefield mission. I was very nervous of these last 2 reds at the top of these floating islands due to falling and dying and losing all my progress, but with some careful maneuvering of Mario's crawl of all options, then we were in the clear. Seeing as how bad I am with wall jumps, the owlless skip is a no-go. However, doing the mission normally is still perfectly manageable. I've saved the best star for last, as it's time for Blast Away the Wall, in which we will be doing our second speedrun trick of the run, that being cannonless. Normally to get the star, you have to talk to the pink bomb to access the cannon and then shoot yourself into the corner of the wall, giving you access to the star. With cannonless, we backflip on the small platform to the left of the star's placement. Then we slightly move down to hang from the ledge, move the camera left and right, and then buffer a down input after you do a quick hold up on the ledge, making you turn around, and if you get that all together just right, you get the star. So, how the flip are we going to do this with the Wii Remote? I wasn't quite sure, but I was going to try my hardest. And after a long while of practicing, I finally got it. It took a lot of precision in getting the right angle, especially with the backflips, but the C buttons are really helping me out here with this camera. After that journey, I embarked on another. It was on to Bowser 1, aka Bowser in the Dark World. For whatever reason, I chose to do the red coins here too, to add more extra challenge, and of course, add more stars to our total count. Dark World wasn't too bad, I just had to take my time, especially when it came to these red coins. Normally, I'm able to grab the first 2 in one go, with the block switch and its timer at the start. Thankfully, I can activate this switch as many times as I need, unlike other P switches we've seen in the Mario series. This one, at the start, a very close call. In a level with building and stopping your momentum, it is a must that you be patient and just keep all of your movements tight and precise. This is when I discovered a very useful tech, that being ground pounding to cancel our momentum. Plus, it helps tremendously with the last red coin in the stage. At first, I wasn't quite sure how to approach it, and these seesaw platforms didn't help much either. But after getting used to their directions and brute forcing the controller to go fast, I made it up above these platforms, which was a bit easier than I thought. This one had a red coin on it, and I needed to get there anyway. But then came the scary part, reaching this coin back to the bottom. Good thing the camera worked fine enough as I aligned myself with this area, and it has such limited range for me to work with. From here I had to crawl out of the mental corner that I'd backed myself into like a pathetic little inch, but once that nightmare was over, it was time for the most anticipated challenge by far up to this point, fighting Bowser himself. Once the battle began, I had to grab Bowser, of course. Circling him around was an extremely unreliable method for this challenge, as I couldn't maintain my fastest speed at the same time, let alone reach him. But after some practice, I got some more throws in and eventually threw him into the bomb, nabbing ourselves our first key of the run. Following that, I wasn't going to the basement just yet, as I wanted to finish what I started, in 100% Bomb on Battlefield, as well as tackle a few stages I hadn't yet touched. To finish Bomb on Battlefield feasibly, I needed the wing cap. There are 3 power-up caps in the game, with a stage to accompany each. I am not good at flying Mario with the wing cap at all, which is why I am incredibly surprised to have grabbed all red coins in one go. This helps grab Mario wings to the sky, as well as shoot to the island in the sky. With that being done, I wanted to practice the swimming controls with the secret aquarium star, and honestly, it wasn't that bad. It seems like things I took for granted about the controls and mechanics are helping my crutches like gameplay. Feeling confident, I headed into Jolly Roger Bay with Plunder in the sunken ship. Nothing too much to say about this one, pretty much similar to the vanilla playthrough. The same can be said for most of the stars in this level, except for Blast to the Stone Pillar and the 108 red coin stars. While the 100 coin and reds are one of my least favorite stars in the game due to there only being 104 coins in level to begin with and the swimming controls not being my favorite, plus it's really strict in general because of the lack of energy Mario has underwater, leading you have to go up for air time after time, which can make it really tedious. But then I got that star soon enough. It wasn't as tedious as Blast to the Stone Pillar. This one is just a bit sucky. You know, this virtual control stick right here makes it really hard to stay in place. I had to aim for this cannon shot so much, and it was so precise because I couldn't stay in place for the life of me without just moving a little bit, because the gyroscope on this thing is nuts and really can just take me anywhere. After tons and tons of shots, I finally got the perfect angle, grabbed the pole, and got the star. Moving on to Cool Cool Mountain. The first mission, Slipslide Away, was a bit of a preview to my next slide race with Star 3. Doing the slide like this was just fine as long as I took my time. The Penguin race, on the other hand, was probably one of the hardest stars in this challenge.
Damn, Daniel!
Depleting all of my lives over and over. I was just really bad at hitting these turns and turning super sharply without staying far behind. This made my ground pound strategy pretty unreliable. Although it sets me up great, it also stops my movement horribly. I knew this had to be possible. It wasn't until I got this clip. Like what? I thought I'd be done for here, but somehow I won? What a photo finish. The other star that gave me lots of trouble in this stage was Snowman Lost His Head. This one wasn't really at fault for the motion control, I just really hate this star and the stupid snowball. I really just have to make it to the body of it and then walk out towards the pet from the right side until it notices me. Really not too bad. Following that, I did the Little Penguin Lost Star.
Run away from me!
And the usual red 800 coin missions. Naturally, these stages as a whole will get a lot harder to traverse and keep those coins the whole way through. So I died a couple times, and it did take a while since the coins spread out via several regions of this map. The sub area for the slide, plus all the layers of the mountain. But once that was done, I got the message for unlocking the door to Bowser in the Fire Sea.
Before I went there, I did a quick detour to the basement, where I caught Mips, got his star, and then I went to the Invisible Cap stage, not just for the usual red coins and the power boxes unlocking, but I ended up dying so much because of these final few jumps at the end of these rotating platforms that we got a bit of a glimpse of back in Bottom Battlefield, and while they look fairly simple enough, make one wrong move and it's over. Especially when they're sloped, you're done for. The ground pounding helps out yet again, as my fast momentum is so good at keeping me on these smaller platforms. But here's the catch with this stage. Like the other cab stages, you don't die in the bottomless pits or lose a life. With how many 1-ups at the start, you can get as many lives as you need at a very fast rate. This helped me a lot for when I finally finished the stage, as I would really need them for Bowser in the Fire Sea, after boarding Bowser's sub and Dire Docks, of course. Fire Sea was by far the most time-consuming stage in this specific challenge. Was it partially because I wanted the red coins again? Definitely, but trust me, it was way worse. Like Dark World beforehand, this stage is very narrow and filled with lots of enemies with very little breathing room in between. The first half of the stage actually wasn't terrible, unless the Wii remote wasn't tilted enough and I got lava bounce too much, or I messed up my angles. Thank goodness I had these 1-ups, and the 1-up at the start of the level, but like I said, I was committing to these red coins, and thus it was a real challenge. This fourth one in particular was slightly nerve-wracking, with the bullies at the bottom and trying to jump off the ledge, as one hit of that lava could be death for me. Although, that was nothing compared to the 6th, 7th, and the star spawn itself. I've gotten used to the wall jumps by now, but ones that make me switch directions, like the blue coins in Rainbow Ride for example, you know, just that kind of left, right momentum, that kind of a jump was needed to get even a chance of reaching the top, so I went for it.
Stop! Stop! Stop!
But after a lot of patience and a couple more attempts, the star was in my hands. Now I will just carefully make my way to the boss. Now, Bowser hasn't changed his attacks too much, minus the massive jumps he makes, which has the stage move up and down, which apparently has the
tiniest, thinnest hurt box ever.
Is it a freaking King Womp with this hitbox? Minus that, I only needed one hit on Bowser again, so I was on my own, camping on the ledge, waiting for him to approach.
Hey, wait a minute.
I had to stay still while holding crouch, so I didn't crawl on accident, such is what ended up happening a few times. But once I timed it right, I had never felt so alive. This level was such a struggle, but now we're at the halfway point. That's incredible. Once I finished this, I soon got back to work and finished 100%ing Cool Mountain. The rest of the stars weren't that bad, but from here, I'm changing my strategies. I'm going to stop my overall linearity in star collecting, and I'm going to other stages. That's what the freedom in this game is about after all. My next target was Shifting Sandland. Here, I grabbed the easy, shining atop of the pyramid star, inside the ancient pyramid, as well as in the talons of the big bird. Then I went into Lethal Lava Land, another one of my favorite stages, and flew over to Red Hot Log Rolling, barely crossed the bridge to boil the big bully. Like, seriously, look at that. And Bully the Bullies was simple enough too. Same with the 8 coin and 100 coins. My only issues lied within the volcano itself and the stars in there. Those being hot-footed into the volcano and elevator tour in the volcano respectively. Hot-foot was honestly pretty simple, despite what I just said. Pretty linear looking back at it, just a couple scary jumps toward the end. Elevator tour, on the other hand, a diabolical beast because of this tiny moving platform. Time and time again, for the life of me, I couldn't get this jump
Down.
I swear, the amount of range on this stick I had to move being really close, then immediately move really far was pretty hard with this bounce. Even when I did manage to get it on, the second hardest part was just as filthy. Tilting to maneuver Mario directions on this pole was super slow and was not at a fast enough rate as to not burn my ass. Frame 1. After a good amount of attempts, we were done with Lethal Lava Land, thankfully. After that, I took a trip back to Shifting Sandland and took care of the iRock boss. I hadn't fought this boss in a hot minute, and getting used to its attack patterns was a bit tricky due to the little space you're given, but I didn't have time to worry about all that, as I had to tilt Mario at his fastest speed or be relatively close to the hand's reset position. It's honestly been really refreshing fighting the bosses and actually feeling challenged for once. Next up, I took a step into the world of goo with Hazy Maze Cave, starting with Watch for Rolling Rocks. Then got a happy donation from Toad, followed by Swimming Beast in the Cavern. The Z buttons came in clutch so much in this one star, I thought controlling Dory would be an absolute nightmare, but it was surprisingly intuitive. The N64 controller deserves a ton of respect, even if Mario's having a panic attack during it all. But that wouldn't be the end of Dory, as I had to enter the Metal Cap sub-area and its corresponding 8 red coins, then hit up Twitter and navigated the Toxic Maze. That never gets old to me. This feels great, hitting up new levels and grabbing a fresh batch of stars to the total. Speaking of which, it's time for Wet Dry World. In hindsight, I definitely should have entered the painting towards the top of the water level, as if you don't know, depending on the height you enter the stage, gives you a great disadvantage or advantage of a water level, and at its highest could be very well peak, making reaching areas a lot easier to navigate to. Normally, I'll yahoo my way up this with careful triple jumping, kicking, and boost. But going around this way just felt like going around my college campus for the first time. And like, who are you people? I've never seen these platforms, and I never knew they existed in all the times I played through this game. But that made it feel all the better when I finally got up to our first star, top of the town. Okay, so let's see, maybe the stage was harder to navigate than I thought. No matter, I grabbed my stars soon enough, and went into the following ones with a stronger mindset of what I learned, and what I went for was Express Elevator Hurry Up. This one has always been a fun challenge to hit the one side of the platform and hurry up to the bottom and catch the other side in a quick succession. I, of course, was a bit slower, but barely managed to catch the other side. Next up was another happy donation for Toby. Then it was time for Shocking Arrow Lifts, another pretty alright star with the raised water level, lifting up multiple helpful platforms as well. Then, quick race downtown. I swear if I had played this in the 90s, I would have never guessed stuff just by name. Regardless, this star was pretty alright. I gained momentum towards the fence with the invisible cap, ended it with some mountain climbing, and grabbed the last star. I ventured off to Snowman's Land. Next, I started chilling with the bully, followed up by the smallest wall jumps known to man for in the deep freeze. Then, I was challenged by Whirl in the Freezing Pond, in which you have to jump on these spin drifts in order to glide over to the box containing the star. I had trouble initially, as I didn't know that jumping off them while in the water didn't give you the gliding bounce sound effect. So on my next attempt, I made sure to approach from the ground and successfully obtained the star. Tall Mountain was my next area of choice, and I blasted to the Lonely Mushroom with the help of Fly Guy. Next, scaled the mountain at the slowest pace possible, and finally, I went down to the mysterious mountainside, really hoping it wouldn't be as bad as Cool Mountains slide and not take 30 freaking minutes. And it wasn't that bad at all. Made it down there first try, and what the flip is this hitbox? Yeah, a couple slip-ups, but really great result overall. Onto the last gated star room with the final 2 levels plus a bonus one. You know, I'm really not doing anything with Rainbow Ride as I just don't have the patience for it, so on to TikTok Clock. Roll into the cage was our first mission here. Much like Tall Mountain before, this level is very linear, so I really took my time going up the clock, as one fall here is pretty much instant death. But a quick long jump nabbed the star just fine. Next up was another Toad donation. Toad, you are the absolute goat. The pit and the pendulums was my next objective. It was a little intimidating, getting past these swinging pendulums,
but soon enough, the star was mine. The red coins in this stage, with the hazards off, are completely free in any way you play this game. After a couple of deaths leading to another game over, I soon realized that I somehow haven't even touched Big Boo's haunt. I soon raced the Big Boo at the top of the mansion with the help of some precise wall kicks. Big Boo himself was a complete joke, but the star's spawn is notoriously a bit intimidating to reach. Nothing some jump kicks can't do, but just taking it slow, on the top, hitting the box, got me the funny number with one more star. Back in Big Boo's haunt, I stubbornly wall jumped to the secret of the haunted books, and finally, with that, we are now sitting at a full 70 stars, getting the message of unlocking the final Bowser stage, Bowser in the Dark World. Opening up onto the final gauntlet of this challenge, I won't be going for the 8 reds here, as there's really no point in increasing my star count any further. The first layer was very simple, and a perfect start, with only a few measly Goombas to get past, and a larger ramp leading ourselves onto the next section with the first of these rotating platforms, of which I used a quick double jump to reach. Following that, I went up a switch slope, and then another slope, of which I long jumped to reach the other auto-scrolling section and proceeded to get burned, blown up, and electrocuted. Once I climbed up the rope and got to another rotating platform, I fell with a mistimed jump and had to climb all the way back up. Thank goodness the recovery heart was there. After another tragic fall, I made it all the way back to the top of the rope and did a full jump and missed the ledge, putting myself in a peril state. The bob-omb pushed me off another ledge before I could react, and then almost get burned while getting knocked over with my hit stun that took forever. Soon, I finally made it back to the rotating platform pair and made it to the top with a well-timed backflip, treachery through the strong wind as the home stretch of the stage approaches with as many one-ups as I can need going forward. With that, let's settle this.
Let's go!
Bowser isn't messing around this time. A couple more tricks up his sleeve are here, notably being his Mega Jump that sends shockwaves across the entire map. Additionally, he spews more flames and requires 3 consecutive throws, with the final throw being the most deadly, as Bowser will split the battlefield into a small enclosed star shape after getting hit with the second bomb. Navigating Mario through all this was a mad torture, especially with the throws themselves. The first 2 were okay enough when I wasn't dying. Just had to simply lure him around toward the bombs, running through his charged attack, long jumping, diving, and really just doing anything to gain my way. It really was this darn final phase that kept getting me over and over. At this point, my throws were coming down to total luck. Until many retries and retries later, and with just enough speed and precision.
No shot. Oh my god. It's me. We're done. We're so done. Oh my god.
The challenge was finally complete, meaning yes, you can complete Super Mario 64 with a single Wii remote.
Honestly, I was really looking forward to this challenge, but also dreading it quite a bit, as I tested a couple games with this before, and it did not seem very pleasant in the slightest, but I love this game to death. Probably one of, if not my favorite games of all time. The movement and precision of Mario 64 is unparalleled. I think every other mainline Mario is incredibly great and offers so much replayability and has so much more merit in its own right. All of them are genre-defining platformers. 64 is in a league of its own, in my opinion, and is why it's such a fun game to perform speedrunning, casual playthroughs, tricks of moves, dives and long jumps and double jumps, wall kicks, and all this. Over 15 stages, 120 stars, so much in one game here from 1996. I think this will still be one of the most beloved games of all time in the future. As we look back on it right now, we still love it for its innovation and the analog stick and its native control to begin with. The 64 controller was made for this game after all. I've put so much work into the script and editing, so if you enjoy this, please check out my other videos. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.
Thank you so much for playing my game.